Right, hello. I thought while I'm out here with the camera, I'd have a little bit of fun and just have a look at some elephant ears and look between the species and see at this point of time which is giving us the biggest leaf. So when I say elephant ears, obviously we're talking colocaceae and alocaceae. You have got other plants that sort of come under the elephant ear nickname. But these are the two that I've got outside at the minute, the colocaceae and alocaceae. So let's have a quick look and see what's measuring up to be the biggest at the moment. So let's start with maybe the smallest and work our way up. So over here, we've got, I'll point with the tape measure because it's easier. So this leaf here belongs to a Morrison's bought Edo, or the tuber for the colocaceae. So it's an unnamed species, just a supermarket bought. And at the moment, we're looking about 8.5 inches for that. So again, that's probably some sort of cultivated species for the tubers, which edible, which they eat in mainly Asian countries. So let's have a look at this one. This is the burgundy stem, aptly named, pushing out a new leaf, but at the moment the biggest leaf on it is this one. So this is about 1 foot and a half inch, so 12.5 inches. About a foot. So a reasonable size. I mean, you can see the shape of the leaf on that. It's got quite a ruffled edge. Quite an interesting looking leaf. So very different shape, more sort of triangular with the ears, very pointed ears, whereas most colocaceae are a bit more rounded. So yeah, it's not a bad species to have. Look, it's a bit different. Now we've got the Colocaceae esculente, which is probably the standard form of Colocaceae. There's a lot of cross species with this, you know, the black magic and various other things will always be a variation of the esculente, but the leaf on this one a bit more impressive. So about 43 inches. So that's pretty decent. Like I say, I'm surprised they're that big because we really haven't had any particularly summery weather. And as we're going past the pink chinas, we'll have a look at them as well. So that's just under a foot, the leaf on that one. Not bad looking ornamental species. Right, so we've got the Luteacacia, which is a cross between Colocaceae and Alocaceae. Thai giant. A lot of people just call it the Colocaceae Thai giant, but we'll call it Luteacacia to keep it clear. I might add, this is it's got a new leaf coming out, but at the moment this is the biggest leaf, and this one's been a bit slow this year due to the weather, but I don't know, maybe about 14 inches, so which isn't too bad. So let's have a look at an Alocaceae. So we've got the Alocaceae sumo here, which again is pushing a new leaf there, but this is can't be the biggest leaf. So lengthwise, about 18.5. Nice colour on the back of that one, so not bad, because alocasias really probably want a bit higher temperatures than colocaceae, so that's not done too bad. We have got a Alocasia macrorrhiza, which is supposed to be a giant species, but to be fair, this was not a huge specimen, but just out of interest we'll measure the leaf. So maybe about 11 inches on that. So again, I think the weather's letting us down when it comes to, you know, optimum performance. Behind there we've got a Sabrina, Alocasia Sabrina, and that's gonna, I'm not really going to bother measuring that, so I'm going to estimate that about 10 to 11 inches, because the top of the leaf is curled over, and one-handed I can't really get to that. But my money is probably on the Jack's Giant. So this is Colocasia Jack's Giant, again a variation of the Escalente, just a larger form. So I'm gonna guess this is probably the biggest. So let's have a look. So from tip, we're looking about 18 inches. Maybe 19. So that is, can't be the biggest leaf on the, out of the elephant ears I've got in the ground at the moment. So again, not too shabby for the weather we've been having. That's done alright. And it is pushing out a new leaf there as well. Never mind the little teddy bear thing here. That's just a dog toy, which is obviously got thrown into the border there. So they're the biggest that are doing the best at the moment, but let's have a look at the elephant ears that aren't doing so well. So we've got another Escalente here. It's doing okay. I mean, that's fairly decent sized leaves, but we've got that there. That's doing okay. We've got another Jack's Giant here. This was a little offset from the main plant, so I don't expect that to be massive. We've got the little Colocasia illustris, which is like the dark leaf form with the light green veining. Really nice looking leaf, but you can see how small it is. That is pushing out a new leaf, and in fact, looking at it there, there's a little pop coming off the side of it as well. But yeah, absolutely tiny. I always found that one a bit slow. And I mentioned earlier about the black magic, so let's have a look at that. So I've got a black magic in the bog filter for the pond, for the little fish pond. And to be honest, again, it's probably down to the weather, but I struggled. So that's the biggest leaf we've got at the moment. So it's a bit disappointing, but you can't control the weather. It's a nice looking leaf. They come in green and they darken up. Got some other random elephant ears in there. I think that's a burgundy stem at the back there, and we've got an Escalente there. It's doing quite well. Yeah, so I think the Escalente is a good solid all-rounder. I mean, all the leaves on them, yeah, I've got in various places throughout the garden, they've all done quite well in the cooler damper conditions of the summer we've had this year so far. But I'd say some of the more ornamental species definitely want a bit more heat. So for a good all-rounder, Colocasia esculenta is the way to go, I think. It's plain green, but it's a good tone of green, and it's a good leaf shape. I think I really like them when they first come out. I've got some little tiny ones over here. Let's have a quick look before we finish. So again, we've got an esculenta here. I will add, I've said it before, but I'll say it again, these ones in the centre bed, so that side and this side, were left in the ground all winter. And I've done it before. They seem to overwinter as long as you can, chuck a bit of mulch over there or a bit of fleece or whatever, just to stop them getting the frost and get them too damp. And they'll come back for you next year. But what I like about the esculenta specifically, underneath this back to the alocasia, is I quite like the shape of the leaves when they first come out, because they're quite cute looking. There's nice little rounded, almost like a water lily leaf when they first come out, until they start getting a bit bigger. Yeah, they're quite interesting shape. Like I say, I've got a lot of the smaller ones dotted about along here, but so that's a quick look at the elephant ears. One of my favourite tropical plants. I haven't got anywhere near as many species as I used to have. I used to have quite about 10 or 12 different, but I lost a lot over the winter. First year I tried to overwinter them, I made the mistake of letting them, or keep them a bit too damp. I just potted them up and put them in the greenhouse, and they most of them rotted off. So that is a lesson learned. Either dry store them or leave them in the ground, really. So yeah, I've grown this Lutecacia Thai giant, not last year because I think an older one, but the year before I had one and that got massive. We did have a good summer that year, but I think I had a couple of offsets on it as well, so I popped them all up individually, and lost them all over winter, rotted out. But that was before I really knew what I was doing when it came to overwinter, and I had the greenhouse set at a minimum of about 5 degrees, but I didn't have a fan going, so the detritus, the mould grew and killed them. So that's a lesson learnt. Good airflow even in cooler conditions in your greenhouse. Keep the fans on. Right, so I think we've exhausted that subject for now. So thanks for watching.